So, good afternoon. My name is Julia Joseph, and I'll be your MC today. I work with several organizations across the state of Rhode Island, but most importantly, I'm a high school student in Woonsocket. First, I'd like to thank the Rhode Island Coalition Against Gun Violence for organizing this rally and for providing a space for students to share their thoughts on this very serious issue. Thank you all for joining us today as we stand here not only to call for common sense legislation to end and prevent gun violence in the state of Rhode Island, but also to stand in solidarity with every child, teenager, and adult who has lost their life to gun violence across the United States. On May 14th, 2022, in Buffalo, New York, 10 Black people were brutally murdered by an 18-year-old. 3 others were injured. Just 10 days later, on May 24th, 2022, in Uvalde, Texas, 19 children and 2 teachers were brutally murdered by an 18-year-old. 17 others were injured. This year at Woonsocket High School, we've had several school shooting drills and/or threats. The one that sticks out in my memory was on December 17th, 2021, leading to the entire school being on lockdown for over an hour and SWAT team members running around our hallways. We weren't able to leave the building until an officer cleared each room and walked us out of the front doors. At one of Woonsocket's middle schools, a child was arrested the same day for possession of a firearm. The issue of gun violence in schools has become so normalized that we're numb to these events. We can call for the end of gun violence all we want, but the Rhode Island General Assembly has the actual power to take the steps necessary in actually fulfilling that need. As of yesterday, sorry, I lost my place. As of yesterday, the Rhode Island House of Representatives approved 3 gun control bills. We need the Senate to follow suit and do the same. The first bill passed is House Bill 6614, which bans Rhode Islanders from possessing, purchasing, or selling high-capacity firearm magazines. Research shows that states with magazine limits have fewer incidents and fatalities. In February of 2022, an unprecedented shootout in Providence, quote, involved more bullets and carried greater risk for police officers and residents than any gunfight they've encountered. Again, this issue is happening right at our doorstep. The second bill passed is House Bill 7547, which raises the legal gun buying age in Rhode Island from 18 to 21. This bill was a no-brainer. Y'all, our brains aren't fully developed until we are 26 years old. Why the hell was an 18-year-old ever permitted to purchase an assault weapon? Research shows that 17% of offenders would have been prohibited from buying a gun if the minimum age in their state was 21. The third bill passed is House Bill 7358, which makes it illegal to openly carry a loaded rifle or shotgun in public. It's wild that it took until 2022 for this to happen. Walking around with a rifle or shotgun in public is dangerous and can turn into a tragedy very quickly as soon as conflict arises. Rhode Islanders support even stricter regulation regarding long guns. When respondents in a 2020 statewide poll were reminded or informed that there is no licensing requirement for shotguns or rifles, overwhelming majorities were in favor. With these bills passed in the House, it is now on the Senate to ensure that gun violence ends in the state of Rhode Island. As a student, I am deeply aware of how terrifying it is to be a student in America today. But I also know that arming our teachers and increasing police presence is not the solution to addressing gun violence. These harmful proposals will only deepen the school-to-prison pipeline for Black and brown youth. Instead, politicians must pass these life-saving gun measures and invest in strategies such as social and emotional support, not armed police in schools.